The Batman director Matt Reeves is planning to do a sequel to the highly anticipated movie surrounding Robert Pattinson as the Dark Knight. With delays and rumors and everything in between, Reeves has confirmed that there is now a villain for the film and that the script is, quote, robust. Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the Hi everyone, welcome to the StudioJake vidcast. My name is Jake Berry and I will be your host. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast and consider becoming a channel member. Alright, so like I said, the Batman Part 2 has been plagued with delays, with rumors, with James Gunn being a liar, and everything in between. Now, it is really interesting, the story of the Batman, because the Batman kind of was a moderate box office success, and it seemed if you were a fan of the comic books, you tended to like it more than just regular moviegoers or even people who just kind of generally like superhero films. Now, that is because I think that Matt Reeves actually did pull a lot of really good Easter eggs from the comic books, as well as Robert Pattinson's excellent portrayal of Batman, Andy Serkis as Alfred, and the rest of the cast who also did a decent job. So the Batman Part 2 got delayed, but they did this mini series in between about the Penguin, of course, played by Colin Farrell, and it was a huge success. I personally enjoyed it. You can go read my review of both the Batman and the Penguin at StudioJakeMedia.com. So you would think with all this hype, Gunn would not be an idiot and he would move up the Batman Part 2, especially considering he wants to go ahead and kickstart the Batman of his DCU film universe. Because remember, the Batman is its own setting and its own film universe, while Gunn wants to kickstart things off with DCU. And it seems like he was trying to sabotage the Batman Part 2, but Reeves was holding on. Now, there were also rumors that Reeves was going through some things in his personal life, and that's why it was delayed, because it was supposed to come out this year, but it got delayed to October 2027. And I still think that had something to do with Gunn consistently trying to sabotage the Batman Part 2 because he wants to do The Brave and the Bold, which is not even a Batman title. It featured Batman and sometimes Superman and sometimes other superheroes teaming up together. Yes, Batman had the majority of the run, but still, it was not technically a Batman title. Anyway, in a recent interview, Matt Reeves confirmed that they did settle on a villain and that the script is, quote, robust. He didn't say finished, but that it is robust and that they will start filming this year. So this is according to bleedingfool.com. The highly anticipated sequel to the comic book blockbuster The Batman has been shrouded in more backstage turmoil than fans could have ever imagined, with the film facing another unexpected release date pushback. Amidst the swirling rumors and speculation regarding the plot and the primary antagonist that will challenge Robert Pattinson's Caped Crusader, director Matt Reeves has finally offered some tantalizing insights that could send the fan base into a frenzy. In a recent chat with Josh Horowitz for MTV, Reeves put some of the persistent whispers to rest, revealing that they have indeed pinpointed the villain for the Batman Part 2 and teasing that the selection will be quite the surprise. Furthermore, he assured fans that the script has reached a state of robustness, promising a narrative that not only builds upon the foundation of the first film, but also introduces an element of unprecedented novelty to the franchise. Yes, of course, or we'd be really in trouble. I hope it's surprising. I think so. I think that the story is a continuation in a certain way and completely different in another. It's going to show a different side of Rob. It's going to be really cool. You just kind of look at online rumors casually and go, is that what they think now? Interesting. Okay, but you just put your head down and do what you do and try to do it the best you can. So then they go into some of the backstories of some of the rumors, and then they continue with Reeves. This year we're going to be shooting, and I'm excited about it. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's taking longer than I would have wanted, but also I'm super excited about what we're doing. So I really can't wait to share that with everybody. All right, so I want you to go to bleedingfool.com and read the rest of the article for yourself. It has a lot of good insights, but it also has more than just coverage of the Batman Part 2. And Bleeding Fool is not wrong. Rumors have been circulating everywhere that they were going to do the Court of Owls, and there seemed to be hints of that particular story arc in the first film, with secret societies being a part of Gotham's history and whatnot. Others were saying they were going to adapt Hush. And this is actually the one I am most excited about. As far as the pre New 52 era, Hush was probably one of the last of the greatest Batman stories. It brought a whole new villain into the mix who had a connection to Bruce Wayne's past, and it was really something to behold, especially when you see the twist ending that happens in that story arc. Another rumor was that it was going to be Clayface, but before he turned into the monster. So it was going to follow Basil Karlo, who in the comics was an actor who was also a serial killer, and Batman stopped him. And then later is when he encountered the mutagen that turned him into Clayface, the giant mud monster that we all know. Now, it seems that Reeves is hinting that all of these rumors are wrong. So who could it be? Now, I can only speculate, but if I was Matt Reeves and trying to do like a more grounded version of the Batman, I would, for one thing, skip some of the ones that have more of the science fiction based powers and focus on, plainclothes criminals, or maybe some flamboyant ones, but ones that still aren't maybe as well known. So, for instance, he could do Maxie Zeus, who is a gangster who thinks that he is the reincarnation of the Greek deity known as Zeus. He could use him, or perhaps he could use someone like Two-Face. Although if I was him, I would avoid Two-Face because he's already been used in 2 films now, not to mention all the animated versions. Maybe he could do the Circus of Strange. That was a very intense story arc, and it would introduce Gotham and audiences to Professor Pig, who's one of the most horrifying of Batman's villains. He could do Dollmaker, but I have a feeling that would push the movie into the rated R field because his crimes are very horrific. Now, he could also do KG Beast, aka just the Beast. Now, this character was in Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice, but it was just a parody version of that character. He didn't really matter. He was just a thug for Lex Luthor. The Beast is supposed to be a worthy opponent who can take on Batman. In fact, the Beast one time got caught by the Batman, and just to prove that he could escape, he actually just cut off his own hand and he used it to put in. Sometimes it's a hook, sometimes it's an axe, sometimes it's a pew pew stick, whatever the case may be. We could do something like that where he's after that. He could adapt 10 Nights of the Beast, which would be fantastic. All of those choices would be good. And like I said, he could avoid some of the more sci fi based villains and go into that grounded reality that makes Gotham work. Now, Matt Reeves, if you're watching this, please tell me if I'm guessing right on any of these villains. Whatever the case may be, I am glad that we are finally getting some motion for this movie. It has taken way too long. James Gunn was a moron for delaying it. It should have been pushed forward, especially after the success of The Penguin. But Gunn, his ego is too big, and his lifestyle, especially the perviness that he engages in, is way too much for him. He just wants that DCU universe to happen so bad, but he needs money to do it. And I guarantee you, if the Batman Part 2 is sounding as good as Reeves is giving us, then I guarantee you that's how he could get the resources that he needs. Thank you so much for watching today. If you would, please be sure to like the video, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment, tell me what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post new vidcasts, and consider becoming a channel member. If you would be so kind, head on over to the aforementioned StudioJakeMedia.com. Besides the Batman and Penguin reviews, I've got all kinds of commentary on anime, on television, on movies, and so much more. And best of all, it's free and no ads. All you have to do is sign up with your email or the WordPress app. If you would like to support the work that I am doing, head on over to my locals community. The link is in the description of the video. You can sign up for a monthly subscription, or you can send my articles tips. And I post exclusive articles there just for my locals community, as well as my short stories. Speaking of stories, I also have written and published 4 books, and more are to come. I've got Cacophony, a supernatural thriller about a group of demons who want to take over a small Texas town, but angels are sent to stop them. I've got the Seven Royal series. So if you're more into fantasy, especially sword and sorcery style, check this out. It is about your favorite fairy tale characters coming together to stop a mage and his dark army from conquering their lands. We've got All Good Things, which is book one. Breaking the Stars, which is book two, and the finale of the Dark Army trilogy, book three, will be coming along real soon. I will have an announcement about that very shortly. Last but certainly not least, I've got my latest romance novella, Blessed Child. It is also a fantasy, though it's unrelated to the Seven Royals. It is about an elf princess who realizes she is pregnant with a human child, sending the elven kingdom into turmoil. But her father, the king of the elves, he hires her a bodyguard. He's a human knight who has been disgraced, but he's on the path of redemption. The two of them form an unlikely bond as they navigate the chaos around them. It is about courage under fire and it is life affirming. So head on over, check out this one or all of them, and leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.